So today you are going to learn how to make banana chocolate chip muffins. And these are mini muffins, so they'll be more bite-sized as opposed to a regular size muffin. Instead of using this kind of tin, we are going to be using the mini tins. So after this session, you will successfully know how to make banana chocolate chip muffins, and you might pick up some tips and techniques throughout the process. This recipe is super easy to make and has really standard ingredients and is good for any sort of occasion. So you can make them throughout any season, Christmas time, Easter, anything you want, and it's appropriate for the occasion. First things first, has anyone baked before? After asking this question, I received pretty standard feedback. Everyone has baked before, but might not be a pro baker, which is okay. This is a super easy recipe. So before we start actually baking, we need to wash our hands. Okay, so our second step is to preheat our oven. So we are going to be preheating oven on bake to 375 degrees. The 8 ingredients for this recipe are 1 cup of butter or margarine, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 4 bananas, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 4 tablespoons of hot water, 3 cups of flour, and 1 cup of chocolate chips or nuts. Keep in mind that this is a double batch, so if you don't want to make as many chocolate chip muffins, you can just split these ingredients in half and make 1 batch. So first we are going to combine our 1 cup of margarine into the bowl. These are preset margarine squares, and they show on here that it is half a cup. So we're going to add 2 of those. Then I'll add my 1 cup of sugar, and then I will begin to mix it. So now that my sugar is fully mixed into my butter, and it looks like this, you are going to add the 2 eggs. And a little trick is a lot of people thinking that breaking eggs on a kind of corner like this is better to break it. It's actually better to break it on a flat surface that creates a better crack, and it is less likely for any of the shell to get into your mixture. Okay, the next step is to add our 4 large bananas into our mixture. They should be mashed. The bananas I use, they look a little disgusting, but what happens is when our bananas at home get a little outdated, they get a little brown spots on them. We then put them in the freezer so we can use them for this mixture. It is better to have bananas that aren't perfect, so you want them to have those little brown spots, and we just preserve them in the freezer so we can use them whenever it's time to bake. So this is the 4th banana. We're adding it into a separate bowl as our mixture. We'll just put that in there. And then the reason we're adding them into a separate bowl is because they need to be mashed before putting into the mixture. So I just grab a standard fork and then I mash them up. We are going to mix 2 teaspoons of baking soda, which I already have in the bowl here, and 4 tablespoons of hot water into a separate bowl as opposed to our mixture. And then I'm going to add this into our big bowl. Okay, so our last 2 ingredients is our flour and our chocolate chips. I'm going to be adding 3 cups of flour just little by little. If you add all 3 cups at first, it's going to be really hard to mix in with the mixture. Okay, so I'm going to add our last bit of flour. It's probably about a cup or so. And then I am going to mix it in. A good trick, especially when your mixture gets pretty thick with all the flour, is to do the fold technique. And the fold technique is to bring your utensil around, bring it under the mixture in the bowl, and bring it over like this. Alright, so our last ingredient is our chocolate chips. I've used just regular milk chocolate and white chocolate chips. You can add semi-sweet chocolate chips, you can add peanut butter chocolate chips, and if you're looking for a healthier option, you can also add nuts. The final step to our recipe is to add the mixture into our pans we have here. So you're going to take 2 regular sized spoons, grab a spoon of the mixture around this size, and you're going to add it to about fill it up. Okay, so both of my tins are now filled. If you only have 1 tin, that's okay. I just like to do 2 at once because it saves some time. I'm going to pop them in the oven, and we're going to make sure that our rack is at the medium rack. And we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. Here's our final product, a delicious bite-sized muffin. I want to thank everyone for their undivided attention, and I wanted to ask if anyone has any questions now. So all of the questions have been answered, and now is a quick refresher of the ingredients that were used to make the recipe. We added 1 cup of butter and margarine, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 4 bananas, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 4 tablespoons of hot water, 3 cups of flour, and 1 cup of chocolate chips or nuts to make our banana chocolate chip muffins. And with this recipe, we managed to make over 48 mini chocolate chip muffins. And that is great.